Just amazing. I gotta see if I can get a signal, check the weather. You can see hilltops all the way over there. So I keep thinking like, oh. So yeah, it's just that kind of day again. I contemplated camping there in the parking lot, but that's never a good idea. So I'm gonna cache this at the location where I'm gonna camp on the second night. So this only has the food that I'll need for the following day, not what I'll need for that night. I'll put, fresh fruit up in here. I'll put a fresh banana. A little ripe though already, so I don't know how it's gonna be all sealed up in here. Okay guys, it is 4:57 in the morning. I just woke up a little while ago, got some quick breakfast. And about to get on the road. I got a 3-hour drive up to Kisatchie National Forest, and yeah, it's early. 4 o'clock in the morning is that weird time where it's that weird time where nothing ever happens. It seems like 3 is pretty late and 5 is kind of the start of the day, but 4 is just kind of this weird in between. It's nothing. But yeah, really excited to get this trip going. I have planned this loop for months. This is gonna be a good trip. 3 days, 40 miles. I've got 12 miles to go today when I get there. The easiest day so far, because I'm gonna be getting there a little later. But rain is forecasted this afternoon, starting about 3 o'clock. It's not supposed to be a whole lot, but there are gonna be some thunderstorms. So it's like, man, I can't catch a break. It's like the first day of every trip I get rained on, it seems like, but it's not supposed to rain tomorrow, and I think it's supposed to rain a little bit Thursday morning, so I may be packing up in the rain. Let's do it. Alright, so I'm at the parking lot off of 395 trail right there. Caching my food. I'm gonna cover it up a little bit, but this is a perfect spot, and it's 1 day less of food I have to carry. Okay, I'm here. This is Coral Camp right here off the Sandstone Trail, and just use their facilities. Wonderful. It's a little overcast today. Expecting some rain later on this afternoon, actually thunderstorms. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. Got the pack ready. Just ready to go, ready to do this trail. Ready to see how I can handle this many miles over this short a time period. This will be the highest mileage I've done over 3 days. It's already almost 9 o'clock, but the weather's good. I mean, for the most part, it's 60, overcast. Probably won't get a whole lot of sun today, but that's kind of what I was planning for. I am here right now at Coral Camp, and I'm going to be going along the Sandstone Trail past Coyote Camp. This parking right here, this is actually the trailhead for the Backbone Trail. Do the Backbone Trail. I'll probably take a lunch right here at this campsite and continue on, finish the Backbone Trail. This is the Caroline Dorman Trail parking lot. So it's a really nice campsite, beautiful little stream. So I'm gonna camp there. And then tomorrow, gonna do the Caroline Dorman Trail, and then do a little road walk here on Bayou Camp Road, pick up the Sandstone Trail again. Head up here. This is the parking lot off of 395. This is where I cached food for my last day. Even noticed a little flat area that would be good for a campsite, not too far from this parking lot. So continue on the Sandstone Trail, past Cane Camp, all up here, all the way back to Coral Camp where I started. So altogether 40 miles. I got 12 miles today, 14 tomorrow, and 13 on that last day. The last day is going to be the hardest because this section here, so that elevation profile for that section is right in this area. So a lot of up and down. This is a good look at Coral Camp. It's not really a campground. I mean, there's no real dedicated developed sites, but you'll see there's like a fire ring over there. Let's see some other black spots here and there. So you pretty much just camp wherever you find a flat spot. So the fee here is $3. So if you're camping or parking. Coral Camp behind me. The trail, the sandstone trail, actually picks up right here, but it's pretty messy. It's pretty bad in that area. It's pretty torn up from the ATVs. There's a lot of big mud holes. So I'm gonna do like a 1/4 mile road walk down 311, and it picks up the trail a little further down, and the trail is in much better shape. So I don't feel too bad about that. Got some new equipment that I'm trying out on this trip. Got a sleeping quilt from Enlighten Equipment that I'm really excited about. It's synthetic, so it should be, I mean, this is perfect weather for synthetic insulation. Man, I just want to stop and just acknowledge where I am, what I'm doing right now. This is exactly where I want to be, doing exactly what I want to be doing. I'm just very happy. So I got that, and of course, this is my first real backpacking trip with the Ultra Lone Peaks. Tried some other trail runners in the past and just never really found them to be good for multi-day trips for me. And I'm sure that's a conditioning issue. I don't do multi-day trips a whole lot. So if you're only doing 2 or 3 a year, it's really hard to get accustomed to a different type of footwear. So I know what you're thinking. This shirt is obnoxious. I hate it. This is probably my least favorite color to wear, but this is a pretty active hunting area, and I don't know what season it is right now. I'm pretty sure it's just bow season. It's not really something we have to deal with in Louisiana usually is wildfires. If you do see areas like this, it's usually a prescribed burn. So I'm about 2 miles into this trip so far and feeling good, just taking a little break. I am getting a little pain like right in where the ball on the forefoot is. Decided to stop, take 5 minutes, get the shoes off. Hopefully it's just part of the adjustment. I know there's a transition period that you have to go through with the 0 drop shoes, and I've used, like most people, athletic shoes that had some type of drop all my life. So they say about 4 to 6 weeks, and I've worn these on a couple of hikes, 4 miles, 5.5 miles, walking around just casual. So I was assuming I was pretty well transitioned. See, I don't know. Hopefully it'll go away. I saw it off the trail. I was like, those look like giant ant beds. I mean, they're just everywhere. I think these are leaf cutting ants. There's even another one right there. I guess those are like their little outposts. Still another one down there too. It's incredible. Look, God, they're over there too. They're everywhere. After 3.3 miles, I've made it to the Longleaf Vista Byway. This is the main road that we came in on. And this is a 200-yard road walk. You can actually see where we're going right there, that dirt road. That is, I think, 339. And that's for the Backbone Trail. May or may not take a break there. My foot's feeling a little bit better, but Wonder if I should change these socks. These socks are thicker, but they don't really fit as well. Okay, so this is a good map of this whole area. I am here, so I just did a road walk. Sandstone trail somewhere up in here. I went down here, took a left, met this trailhead, so I'm gonna follow the Backbone Trail. This right here, this is the High Ridge Trail. It's okay, it's about a 2 mile out and back. They don't really maintain it very well. So I'm gonna follow all the way down to here. There's a bluff right here, a little overlook. So I'm gonna stop here, get some lunch. Continue on, cross Bayou Cypress, come down here. This is the trailhead for the Caroline Dorman Trail, and somewhere down in here is where I'm camping tonight. This is one of my favorite trails in the area right here. This is the Turpentine Trail. I'm kind of tempted to do it today because I could do it. It's a spur trail off the Backbone Trail. I could do it, hit the Longleaf Vista, and just do a road walk up to there, but we'll see. So for the next 17 miles, it's gonna be all trail. It's not multi-use like the Sandstone Trail, so it's gonna be more single track. It's gonna be a little bit more narrow. This is a wilderness area, so this trail is not well blazed, but it's easy to follow. Towards the end, where it gets down close to Bayou Cypress, it's a little confusing where to go, but it's only a short section and you can figure it out. Helps to have a GPS or a map at that point. And all of those you can download off my website, louisianahikes.com. I am allowed to shamelessly plug my own website on my video. Dropping down some, and if it's been raining at all, the trail basically becomes a water source. Wind's definitely picking up. I don't think I'm gonna outrun this rain. I was hoping I would miss it. It's supposed to start raining around 3. It's noon right now, so I'm probably gonna get wet. I would just like one trip out here where I don't get wet on the first day. Coming up on mile 6 on this trail, the shoes feel really good. They really handle the mud well. I was surprised. My Solomons, my boots, that's the one thing I don't like about them, is they really hold the mud and it just gets caked on there, and they're heavy enough as it is, and now they're twice as heavy with mud, and you walk across the pine straw and you pick that stuff up, so it just kind of compounds. Really nice campsite, really nice view. You can kind of catch it over there. Taking a left at the spur trail, and this is the best campsite in this whole area. I hate that I'm not able to stay here tonight. Bayou down there, can't see it from here, but this is the descent to it. What gives me pause about staying here is this thing. I don't even know if I want to be here right now. Look at that. Somebody's been chopping away on it. Just amazing. I gotta see if I can get a signal, check the weather. You can see hilltops all the way over there. Just checked the radar. The rain is going to be here in the next hour, if not sooner. It's going to be rough. The wind's already starting to pick up. Drop down to the bayou. Go as far as I can, maybe another mile or 2, maybe. Go ahead and set up my tent. Just get inside. Don't do the air mat. None of that. Don't set up like I'm going to bed. Just set up the shelter, ride out the storm. And it should pass this evening. just made the 100-foot drop down to Bayou Cypress, or close to it. Starting to feel first little sprinkles of rain. It's supposed to be a pretty good thunderstorm. Trail has not relented. Ugh. So what I'm gonna do, there's a campsite about a mile away, mile and a half away. And it's right there by the bayou, but kind of up on a little bluff. So I think that's the perfect spot to stop for a couple hours, 2-3 hours, however long it takes for the storm to blow over. Cook some dinner a little bit later. And then I'll have about 3 or 4 miles left until my destination, stopping point. Because I've got a really tight window for this trip. So every mile that I do not do today is another mile I have to do tomorrow, and I already have 14 miles to do tomorrow. So I really don't want to add to that. So this would be kind of cool. I've never done this. You know, the good thing about Cuban fiber is it doesn't retain moisture. So pretty much I can just kind of flick the rain off, wrap it up, and just put it on top of my backpack. So that is the plan. I'm hoping there's a log or something across Bayou Cypress that I can get across. Man, I don't think I've ever seen this much water in the bayou. This thing is moving. Man, that's gonna be deep. Just gonna roll up my pants and hope I can keep them dry. So I made it to the campsite I was shooting for, but now I'm seeing the sun starting to peek out from the clouds. It's only 2:30. I don't want to stop now and it not rain. So I have my inReach. I'm getting a weather forecast because I don't have a signal, but it takes a while for that to go through. So I'm just kind of chilling and waiting because there's really no other campsites for a couple miles and I don't want to get stuck. But I'm gonna have to bypass the rest of the Backbone Trail and take the Turpentine Spur Trail. It'll end up being, with the road walk to the Caroline Dorman Trailhead, it's gonna end up being about the same mileage. But that water crossing at Bayou Cypress, I had maybe another 5 feet to go and it was up to my waist. And I was trying to put my poles in front of me to judge, and my poles went nearly all the way in the water. The sand was like, every time I start to step into it, my feet would just sink into the sand and debris was hitting my legs. And I'm just like, I'm not doing this, because it would have been at least up to my chest, I'm assuming. So anyway, I went back up the bank and I found a pretty good size, probably an 8-foot long log, and stuck it down as far, as deep as it would go, and pushed it over to the bank. And it went, there was only about a foot sticking up out of the water. And I pushed it over and I kind of jumped up onto it and then hopped up onto the bank. It was crazy. Yeah, it's starting to rain. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up the shelter. Got everything set up. Gonna listen to this. I don't know, maybe watch Babylon Berlin. Got that downloaded on Netflix. So here's my setup. I had a little trouble out here last time with the storm because I'm only using these shepherd stakes, and they're just basically a thin piece of metal just going straight into the ground. And the ground around here is really sandy. So I have these mini groundhogs. So I've actually staged my ridgeline on a separate, on the groundhog, and then I've got the doors on the shepherd stake. I've got this new little setup for my backpack, because I always used to just throw my backpack outside and it would just lay down, and if it rained, the water would come in on it. So I've taken that top strap and I've looped it through the hand loops on my trekking pole and snapped it back in, so this is holding it up. And then I've got a rain jacket loop on the collar going through that strap also. So that's actually draped over, my shoes, my hip belt, all that stuff. So I don't know, it's pretty cool. So I'm forever in search of healthy food options for the trail, and I love ramen, I really do. But the crap that you buy in the store is just so bad for you. It's got just all the things that you don't want. I found this stuff on Amazon and it's got less calories, but the ingredients are just wheat flour. This is from Korea, so it's gotta be legit. And I like it because the sauce packet, it's like this oil, this sesame seed oil. And then I found these tuna packets. It's wild caught tuna and olive oil. Well, the skies are clearing up. I still feel good about my decision to set up camp, just to wait out the storm. It is 5:45, so I should definitely be at the campsite by 8 by the latest. And that's kind of taking my time because I'm a little achy right now. I kind of pushed myself a little harder than I would normally do on the first day of a trip. Still trying to get adjusted to these new shoes. So I'm going to take the Turpentine Trail because Bayou Cypress goes through kind of the lower end of this trail, and it's already pretty muddy there, judging by how full the bayou was when I crossed it earlier. I'm not gonna take my chance and get stuck trying to cross it down there. Take this, it's gonna be a road walk, about half a mile, quarter mile to Caroline Dorman, and then another mile or so to the campsite. You really have to come explore this place for yourself. This is actually where I had my first overnight camping experience. It's kind of what started all this 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. Yeah, right up there on that hill. This is where I want to bring my daughter for our first camping trip together. I'm on a paved road. I'm on the Longleaf Vista Byway, which isn't the smartest thing to do at night, is road walk this thing. I'm hoping there's no activity. I mean, there really shouldn't be. If anybody's coming out here, they're already here. Got my beam on high, my poles, the wrist straps, they have little reflectors on them, so. All right, made it onto the Caroline Dorman Trail. The trail is actually right there. So found a nice little flat spot right by a steep branch. So I've got water in the morning. I contemplated camping there in the parking lot, but that's never a good idea. It is 7:45, not bad actually. 12 miles, a little less than 12 miles total. Got a good start. You know, I'm not too far from where I wanted to stop today, so. But yeah, I need some rest my knee. It feels okay. I got the brace on it. I think I just need some rest, do some recovery, see how everything is in the morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday, February 28th. It's 6 o'clock and slept pretty good last night. I only woke up maybe a couple of times, really. I was out. I really didn't want to get up now, but I gotta get on the trail. I gotta make some miles. So I've got some honey nut Cheerios, some granola, and some protein powder. Mix that up, make a little cereal. This is gonna be for my coffee, which I have some Starbucks dark roast, and I've got this instant coffee that's got a little bit of cream and sugar mix. So this campsite worked out well. It was a little humid last night with all the rain and everything, but everything's dry. The inside of my tent's dry. I'm pretty surprised about. Now the key to making coffee on the trail is to not let it boil, because then it's going to be way too hot to drink and it's going to take a while. So I use filtered water and then just let it just start bubbling, and that's perfect. Sun is not quite up yet. Should be up around 7. But I'm telling you, man, this cereal is really good. Here's the route for today. So yesterday started here, and I am somewhere just past the parking lot, so I'm not too far from where I wanted to camp last night. I was add maybe another mile to today, so I've actually got 15 for today, but luckily it's a little after 7, so I got plenty of time. This is quite a beautiful trail. The Caroline Dorman Trail is very nice. It's fairly level until I get to probably about right in here, climbing up out of this little wash area. And it's pretty cool. It's some up and down. You get some pretty big gullies. So yeah, it's pretty overcast. Not expecting to see a whole lot of sun until this afternoon. I've already done my stretches, had breakfast, coffee, packed up, filled up on water, and that took me a little over an hour. Not bad. Could be better. Yeah, 15 miles today. Whew. It's gonna be rough. Trail is still wet. So far my knee feels pretty good. I think it was just a long day yesterday, a lot of jumping over water and balancing on rocks. It's just a lot of strain on it, especially with these new shoes. Not having that upper that I'm used to that gives me a lot of support. Yeah, it feels pretty good. I got a compression sleeve on it right now, just in case. It's beautiful here. There's a nice waterfall right there when there's a lot of water. And campsite right over there. This is where I was gonna camp last night, but didn't quite make it. So I'm about 2 miles into the day, a little over 2 miles on the Caroline Dorman Trail. It's a little more than 13 and a half miles for the loop altogether. The sun's trying to peek out a little bit. Track that I made on all trails, it's a little off. It's about a mile shorter than what it actually is. So even though I had it at 12 miles to get to that campsite last night, it was more like 13. I would say 80% of the trail has been like this today. You can really see when this area floods how wide this thing gets. All those sand deposits. It's pretty cool. Kind of up on this little ridge line, I guess you could call it. About as close to a ridge line as you're gonna get in Louisiana. So I just passed up mile marker 5 for the Caroline Dorman Trail, and so that puts me at a little over 17 and a half miles for the loop. So a little bit about last night. It was my first night sleeping with the new sleeping quilt that I got, the Enlighten Equipment Enigma, the Apex. I like to have the choice between down and synthetic because I knew it was gonna probably rain on this trip. I knew there would be a lot of humidity. I knew the synthetic would be the better choice. Even though it's a 30 degree, it probably didn't get down to maybe low 60s last night. And I was perfectly comfortable. I wasn't too hot. I mean, I woke up a couple of times damp, but I think that's just from all the humidity. It was very humid last night. Early in the morning, I like to start off kind of slow. I like to take a break. The first 4 miles, I like to take a break every 2 miles. And then I kind of extend it past that. Usually go 3 miles before I take a break, and then 4. And then that last part of the day, I know I'm going to get a good rest. I push it. So I usually end up a little sore when I get to camp because I've been pushing for a few hours. You know, I'm going to rest all night, do some recovery, my recovery routine, stretching and rolling out my muscles. I'm usually in my tent laying down for a good 10 hours. So I kind of rev it up slowly. Probably the steepest climb on the Carolina Dormant Trail. The Sandstone Trail, it's going to be a lot of this. A lot of short, steep climbs, nothing major. And somewhere down there is Little Kisatchie Bayou. Should be crossing that soon. And that's a really nice water crossing, a lot of sandstone. So just past mile marker 7, maybe quarter mile back. And I'm right at 19 miles total for the trail. It's this cool little gully right here and a nice campsite. The forest is really nice right here. God, it's so beautiful. So I started out today somewhere around in here just past the parking, and I am right about here. So this kind of gives you an idea of, you know, the mileage ratio aspect of this map. And then I'm gonna hit Kisatchie Bayou and a little over 3 miles. And I'm gonna take a nice little break, probably take about an hour, eat my lunch. Hoping to be back on the trail by 3. And then just got about 6 miles to here, which is where I cached my food, where I found a little campsite, and where I'm gonna be staying tonight. So altogether about 15 miles today. But it is not even 12 o'clock yet, so feeling pretty good. I knew this was going to be pretty incredible today. This is probably, to me, one of the most beautiful parts of the Carolina Dormant Trail. So peaceful. If you live in Louisiana, you need to get out here and do this trail. It is the best. A little possible campsite right here. Starting to see kind of the floodplain and the banks of Bayou Kisatchie. It's pretty big. It's bigger than some rivers we have here in Louisiana. Especially with all this rain, I'd imagine it's going to be pretty swollen. Over here to the right, all these lowlands, these are all tributaries that run into it. You see all that sand, all this sandstone up here, slowly eroded and gets deposited down here. You can see all of this was underwater. I don't know if this is going to come out, but there's just mud. I just dropped down past mile marker 9, just dropped down close to the bayou tributaries. And man, it's just mud and sand and debris all over the ground as far as you can see, really, through the trees. You can just imagine all of this was underwater. That's crazy. I mean, this is amazing. This entire area was underwater. So I guess the bayou flooded, and then all the tributaries backed up, and they flooded. I couldn't even get down where the trail crosses. I had to go down about 50 feet, cross over a log, because the slope down to the water was so muddy and slippery. Even with my poles, I couldn't get any traction. Whoa. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I can get across over there. Oh, God. So I'm literally inching my way across this tree because it's so, I mean, it's muddy, there's debris on it. My shoes are coated in mud, so I wasn't even gonna try to walk across it. So I'm just doing this. You can tell the water was even above this. Jeez. All right, I'm putting this up. That would have been a hell of a drop if I would have slipped off. Normally I would just walk across that, but there was so much mud and debris, and my shoes are covered in mud, I wasn't even gonna try. That was crazy. Never had to do that before. So it's real easy to get lulled into kind of a zone on this trail. It's pretty flat for the most part. You get a little bit and you're just kind of bebopping along. Listen to music, kind of in your own little world, and you get hit with that obstacle. You just got to find a way. I'm lucky that tree was there. I don't know what I would do. Well, would have got my feet wet. But that's the problem too. There's so much sand in the bottom of these. You don't know really how deep it is. You could sink a foot or two, like the crossing I made of Bayou Cypher yesterday. I mean, I was probably sinking a good foot into the sand before I made that jump across. Wish I could have gotten that on video. I'm gonna tell that's about a good 20 feet down. This was underwater. That's incredible. Just had to make another daring attempt to cross. It wouldn't be a big deal, but the drop down to the water is so steep and it's just solid mud. Well, somehow your boy missed the turnoff for the campground. Because technically the Caroline Dorman Trail does not go through the campground. There's a spur trail off the Caroline Dorman Trail that goes to it. And the Caroline Dorman Trail comes out to Bayou Camp Road, but I don't know how I missed it. Probably because I'm tired, I'm frustrated. I've been jumping, I've been climbing, I've been scaling. I'm ready for a break, but it's almost 2 o'clock already. Wasn't planning on getting here this late. Well, thankfully it wasn't that far of a walk down to the, I don't know if it's the upper or the middle parking area, and then it's just a short walk down the hill to the campsite. But as you can tell by my shoes and my pants, it's been that kind of a hike. The bayou is unbelievable. I think this is where we stayed the last time I came. I mean, it's just nothing but sand out here now. I think I'm just gonna lay here for about 30 minutes before I even eat anything. Yeah, that was really, really, really tough. That lasted maybe only 1.5 miles, but that was brutal. So really the road walk isn't that bad. It could be worse. Sun's been out for a little while, about the last hour or so. That's been nice. Dried everything out, dried my shoes out, dried my socks out, dried my pants. Did put on the shorts. It's about 80 degrees right now. So these are the times where you kind of want to quit. You kind of like, you think about your bed, you think about a shower, you think about a good meal, good cup of coffee, clean clothes, but at the same time, you're loving it. At the same time, there's nothing else you'd rather be doing. You know, that's after hiking 11 miles, and about 1.5 miles of that was basically an obstacle course. So you feel it. You feel it in your feet, you feel it in your legs, your back, you feel it everywhere. And it's these moments where it's just walking on a road, but I would not trade this for anything. I mean, this is those few moments in life where you know you're exactly where you want to be, doing exactly what you want to be doing. And, you know, I'm not trying to get too philosophical about hiking, but it's easy to get philosophical when you're hiking. You're just in this constant meditative motion where everything is reduced down to what you're doing in this moment right now. The only thing that you're thinking about is, have I got enough water? Have I got enough food? Am I gonna have a place to set up my shelter tonight? Are my legs gonna make it? Can I go another 5 miles? What's that sound? Is that thunder? Most of the time it's just in the moment. You're thinking about your base needs. I love that. It's just very simple. Life is very complicated. Relationships, culture, communication, interaction with other people, feelings, emotions. Your feelings and emotions out here are very basic. You know, the psychological is more, you know, can I make it another 2 miles? Can I make it? Can I finish this? Setting a goal, planning. I don't know where I'm going with this, but this is what I want to do more of. You know, I want to chronicle my experience more than the actual, yeah, the trail is beautiful and the landscape, but you know, I'm out here for the experience. I'm out here for, you know, the personal challenge, the setting a goal and completing that goal, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. There's no better feeling than facing a challenge that's really difficult and that's sometimes painful, and finishing that and coming through that. And I wish my daughter was older and she was here with me. Okay, so one of the trade-offs of doing this loop is you have to hike a ATV trail, a multi-use trail, and you're gonna run into shit like this, but it doesn't last long. I think this is really the only bad section. It's this first half mile, once you get off the road, that's really bad. But once you get past this, you know, there's some spots here and there, but it's nothing like this. Like, I'm just gonna have to climb over here. Well, that wasn't too bad. See? It just looks bad. It was bad last time I did it because it was at night. So, really couldn't see. I didn't even see this part over here. Mile 25, making another descent. This is gonna go all the way down to Jim Dowden Branch. So taking a break here at Jim Dowden Branch. It's got a nice bridge going over it. This is the first real water source you come to on this section. I'm about 2 miles from the campground, Kisatchie Bayou, so yeah, this is your first real chance to get water. I'm about 3 miles away from where I'm gonna be camping. Man, the mosquitoes are bad already. And it's just now the end of February. The challenges just don't stop on this trail. That's where I'm supposed to be walking. And this is like some kind of pond that's next to it. The trees are beautiful. The forest is beautiful right here. So, gotta go get it higher than the water. This isn't too bad, at least there's this. I'm seeing what appears to be dog prints, but I don't see any boot tracks or footprints. So these might be coyote prints. There's a lot of coyotes out here. You can hear them at night. It's pretty cool. So this is Red Creek. I'm going to attempt to put this log here. I'm going to attempt to cross over that. This thing is booking. Well, I made it across dry. Actually, getting across the log was the easy part, even though I thought it was going to break. It was getting through the Yalpon on the other side that was the tough part. Kept grabbing my backpack, and just the mosquitoes are unbelievable for this time of year. But yeah, with all the water out here and the warmer temperatures, yeah, it shouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's just constant thinking about where you're gonna put your next footstep. Just crossed Middle Branch. That's where you're supposed to cross. I actually went across this really skinny little tree right there. It's pretty strong. And this has been the slowest. I've had like 3 crossings so far that I've had to find another way around. Hoping there's a bridge over Steep Hill Creek. Kind of tempted to push on to Lotus Camp. I've got a little flat spot that I eyeballed when I made my food cache, but I'm gonna take a look at it, get a closer look, see if I like it. If not, I think Lotus Camp's another mile, which it'll be dark by then, but that's no big deal. So it's a lot darker than it looks on the camera right now, but I think this is gonna be my spot for the night. That's the parking lot, and I cached my food right over there, picked that up, and the trail is right over there. So not exactly on the trail, there's kind of a little access here, but it's good enough. It's flat. Hope nobody comes out here tonight. I always tell people, the only time I really get afraid for my safety on the trail is around public areas like this, really. It's really not that bad out. It's pretty nice weather. Got a full moon. The mosquitoes are brutal. So I'm wearing a rain jacket, got my pants on. Luckily it's not that warm. I mean, they're even biting my feet, so I'm gonna have to put my socks back on. But just cooking up some couscous. Get that boiling. With some tuna fish with sun-dried tomatoes. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. It's 6:45. I think I did like 16 miles today. I've got, according to All Trails, I've got 13 miles tomorrow, but that could be off. But shouldn't be too bad. Get up early, knock it out, so I can hopefully get back to my car before dark and make that 3-hour drive back to BR. This has been a really good trip, but it's been rough. The water, the mud, the crossings, the flooding, everything, but it's been good. morning. It's Thursday, March 1st, and the last day of the trail. You know, mixed feelings, kind of sad it's over. You know, it's a lot easier to be happy about the last day on the trail when you don't sleep well. So this area, it was good, but it was just a little unlevel. So I kept sliding off my mat. But yeah, kept waking me up. I probably got a good 6 hours of sleep, but I really needed more. But went ahead and got up at 5. It's 6 now. Ready to get on the trail. I should have about 13 miles today, but the All Trails app has been off by about a mile on each one of these sections. So it's possible it could be 14. I don't know. I'll see. So I'm gonna break out the map, show you what I gotta do today, show you what I did yesterday. I am here at this parking lot, and yesterday I went from somewhere just south of the parking lot for the Caroline Dorman Trail all the way to here. Ended up being about 16 miles altogether. Just because through here, where all this flooding was, I was having to backtrack and go around, go down the streams, look for ways across, yeah, so it was probably 15 miles altogether. So that was pretty accurate to what All Trails had, so that's good. But today, going all the way up here, past Cane Camp, do this north section, and back to Coral Camp where I parked. I'm expecting 13 miles today. It's gonna be pretty difficult, especially from here over to here. But I'm so excited to finish this trail. Being the first person that I know of to complete this official loop, it's pretty important to me, like doing it by myself. I enjoy hiking and camping with other people. I love the people I was with the last time I tried to do this. I don't know, there's just something special about doing it on my own, doing it by myself, to actually complete it for the first time. Now, I'm sure other people have figured this out and done this before, but I feel like it's official. Got a name for it, you know, it's on my website, got maps for it. You know, I feel like this is the first time it's official, and I'm the first person that I know of. So that's pretty cool. Sun's not quite up yet. So I'm getting a little rain to start the day with. Pretty interesting. It's not too bad, but it's coming down pretty good right now, actually. Put this up. So thankfully the rain didn't last very long, maybe 15 minutes. But it was coming down pretty good, enough to get my pants completely soaked. And the wind's picking up. It's a little cooler, so it may be a front moving through. But I do all my videos with a iPhone 8 Plus. And the good thing about those phones is they've made them a lot more water resistant. So I wasn't too worried about it when I got caught with my phone out of my Ziploc bag. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and push. I was gonna stop and eat breakfast, and I think I'm just gonna push on to Cane Camp, take a break there, eat breakfast. You know, it's kind of strange. Normally, I wake up, make my coffee, eat my breakfast, and then I pack up. I like to, you know, kind of ease into the morning. But just something was pulling me out of my tent this morning. I made iced coffee without the ice this morning. That's a good thing about the instant packets. You can just dump it in some water and shake it up. But something was just pulling me out of my tent, and packing up and getting on the trail. Now, it could totally be that this is my last day and I'm excited to go home and ready for a hot meal, like a good meal. Or, you know, it could be some kind of intuition that you start to develop while you're out here. Not like, you know, some kind of psychic powers, but just you're more in tune with nature, and you know, you feel, maybe you sense the rain coming, and there's some unconscious drive, some kind of instinctual unconscious drive that's telling you, hey, get moving. Or it could just be, I want a hamburger. Either way. Evolutionary biology and thousands of years of training, and it's in my DNA from my ancestors. or I just really want a Starbucks. One or the other. Who knows? So coming up on mile 31, and just left Cane Camp not too long ago. Ran into I guess a grandfather and his grandson. And they had their horses. Talked to them for a few minutes. It's the only people I've seen out here on the trail so far. Trail's beautiful this morning. It is in the mid 50s. So I went from probably the lower 80s yesterday afternoon to now the mid 50s. I feel it too. You know, I had that little break at Kisatchie Bayou campground yesterday. Yeah, just something as simple as being able to sit down on a picnic table is a big morale booster and a big luxury. Cannot express how grateful I am to the trail builders and trail maintainers, people that build bridges like this. All right, making my descent down to where the sandstone trail and the cut through trail meet. This trail to the right will take off, I'm thinking about 3 or 4 miles, and it's much, much easier than this northern section of the sandstone trail. And this will take you almost right to Coral Camp. Comes out not too far from there. But I am going this way. So I've only done this part once before, ever. And when I did, I actually got an injury, overuse injury. I had to get off the trail. Luckily, there were some guys at Coral Camp that gave me a ride back to my car at the Caroline Dorman Trailhead. That's when I was also trying to do 18 miles in one day. Not training, not doing any kind of recovery routine. So I'm pretty confident that I'll be okay today. Shout out once again to the trail builders and maintainers. Another awesome bridge over Bob's Creek. Man, this is pretty wide. Yeah, camping here maybe. Again, kind of slow going. A lot of mud through this section. And I've been thinking about what makes this area feel so different. And it's, man, there's a lot more hardwood for sure. And it just gives it a different feel. So yeah, it's just that kind of day again. More mud. At least the terrain's pretty varied. It's kind of up and down, up and down. A little light rain coming down. And making the descent down to Laird Branch. Getting a little pain in my right heel. So I'm just kind of taking it slow, which really I want to. Those up and downs were pretty grueling once I hit the sandstone trail. Whoa. This is gonna be tricky. It's just, whoa. But I gotta tell you, these ultras, even when they're completely caked in mud, they still hold their traction pretty well. It's like every step I take, I sink about 2 inches and start to slide a little bit. But I haven't fallen yet. I know that's what you're hoping for. Would be some good video. Oh, so nice. Once I crossed that bridge, it switched over to gravel. Very nice. And back to mud. I'm just really struck by how much this reminds me of Arkansas, where you're on these ridge lines overlooking a wash and then another hill's rising up across from it. I think it's the more hardwood, that along with the elevation change, that reminds me. It's pretty cool. Since I made the turn, there's been a couple of climbs and descents, but not much. It's mostly been level. It's mostly been following either the tops of the hills or along the ridge lines. I think I'm actually gonna get a little bit of water here. I'm gonna climb up into that. Getting back into some more pine trees. Once again, the landscape's gonna change. This is definitely the longest climb I've had to make, but it's pretty gradual. All the way down there is that little stream that I crossed. I'd be curious how much elevation gain there is in this one section. And it's still going too. And the sun's coming out too, that's nice. Still got some climbing to do. I'm tired. It's just been up and down all day. It is 1:30 and gone 11.5 miles today. Got maybe another 1.5 miles left. Just starting to feel it. Oh. It's like your body knows that it's about to be over. And it's just kind of giving up. You're like, not yet. Ooh, that looks fun. I think I'm gonna try to get across that. So now that I'm almost through the Kisatchie Loop, It's like, what am I feeling? You know, what's going through my head right now? The first thing is a sense of relief that I can finally move on from this trail and do something else. Even though I still gotta edit this video, and I've been taking notes along the way and a GPS track so I can put together a really comprehensive trail guide for people that want to do this. You know, really breaking it down. You know, where the water sources are, campsites, you know, mile to mile, what to expect. So I'll still be doing that, but as far as physical hiking, I'm ready to move on. I'm gonna do this trail one more time this year in March. So I've got a group of people, some of whom were on my last trip with me, that want to try again. So I'm gonna do that again in March, and then yeah, move on. And that's perfect time because it'll be open to ATVs in May. So I'd like to do some more stuff up in Arkansas. A couple of little small loops on the Ouachita Trail before I do a through hike next fall. I mean, that's really my next big trip. Is I've got a 3-week window in the fall that I want to try to through hike the Ouachita Trail. Ever since I put this trail together, kind of been a little obsessed with it. I think just trying to do it and failing twice is just that motivator. I couldn't get it out of my head. You know, I always learn something on each trip. I gain some type of experience that's going to benefit me, you know, every time I go out. One thing I learned is that if there's a storm approaching, set up your shelter, find a place to stop, set up your shelter, ride it out. Never done that before. That was pretty cool to now have that option. Just to know that I can undo my pack, you know, get my shelter out, put it up, take a couple of hours, put everything back up. Really wasn't that big of a deal. Didn't take me very long at all. So I've gotten pretty proficient at setting up camp, so that's good. Also, there was something else. Oh yeah. See, this is what just happened. What you just saw is relating to what I'm fixing to talk about. So don't come out on the trail sleep deprived, because you will never get that sleep back. Because you're never gonna sleep that great the first couple of nights. The first night I slept pretty good, but last night I didn't sleep well at all. It was so warm. Couldn't get comfortable temperature-wise. Get a good night's sleep before you get out there on the trail, because if not, it's gonna dog you. You know, I could probably get away with it if I'm doing a multi-week long trail, but just coming out here for a few days, never really able to get my sleep cycle in rhythm. How fitting is this? So I just found this just laying on the trail. It was face down, so I couldn't see what it says, and I flipped it over. It reads, "The more difficult the journey, the more rewarding the finish." I mean, wow. I feel like I should leave it here, but you know, it's trash. But I mean, somebody, I think they had it stapled up on this tree. Yeah, I'm gonna take it with me. I think somebody actually commented on one of my videos, like, we never see the end. So this is the end. There's a video of my hamburger from Burger King. I didn't get a chance to stop. I gotta make it back. But I made time for this. So glad I got to finish this trail. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.